So once you found where the vector of the breach is happening, when we talk about vector, we mean the way that an intruder has gone into your account. Now, that vector could either be access keys that they've acquired. It could either be a website that they're trying to attack and do a DDoS attack on. Vectors can be all kinds of endpoints of how they get into the account and what they're trying to do to compromise it. But once you notice that, now it's time to contain that. And why do we want to do containment? Containment has many strategies as far as that goes, is limiting damage. It prevents lateral movement, so from jumping from server to server. It prevents that east-west traffic from happening, prevents additional data loss, and allows analysis forensics in a safe area. And it also is protecting sensitive data as well. So your first step is to definitely try to isolate and try to get that service or whatever they're attacking out of the mix in order for those things to not happen to you. The other thing too is that it allows for analysis and for forensics. That's very important. Never ever do you want to ever delete anything within this attack vector. You don't want to delete your EC2. You don't want to delete a user that maybe they created. You want to go ahead and isolate those as well.
Yeah, because you were talking about how, isolation specifically, you want to isolate your EC2 instances, you want to maybe isolate your network, whatever the blast radius is, right, of what you think this attack is, make sure you get that isolated. And then as well, like when you're talking about an AWS specific incident or breach, you've got IAM users or IAM roles that might be compromised. And the way to isolate those, again, maybe you don't necessarily want to just delete the user or the role, especially are they used somewhere else? Do you need forensic tracking of the actions being taken? Um, the thing that I would say there is there's a way to either temporarily revoke session credentials that are tied to that role, but you can also just the most straightforward way is just to apply like a denial policy to that role or user. And that's something that we've got a recording of a demo of. Pretty straightforward. AWS actually has a policy existing already called AWS denial that you can just attach to any user or role, and that supersedes any of the permissions that user or role might have. So that's what I would recommend as far as isolation.